Lights out and let's go racing, folks, and it's a very even start from the entire field.
There's a freight train forming behind him right now. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. Sideways as a bishop on a chessboard. That was incredible car control.
Oh no, and he's sent it! And he's gone down the inside, and that's a brilliant move.
Going for a bit of an ambitious dive now, and oh, there's contact! Here they come now, around the final turn on the final lap, they're side by side!
Oh, and there's contact now. Someone is going to be hitting the showers early tonight, I'll tell you what.
Crosses the line for P1. Brilliant racing. Absolutely sensational stuff.
This is heart pounding. This is nerves rising. This is Simsational TV.
It was a showdown for the ages last week for the season opener of the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup Season 22. And now the cars have an opportunity to let these rotaries open up throttle and let loose around the undulating and unforgiving Road Atlanta. Momentum is king around such a circuit, and the feedback from the drivers is going to have to be to the highest degree. Carry as much speed as possible into turn one and float the car on the verge of uncontrollability into the S's and then back up the hill for the run into T6. Can't finish the move into 6. Lucky T7 is right there, but exit is paramount for the drag race down the hill into 10A and 10B, the biggest braking zone on the circuit. And the gravel trap is right there to greet anyone who gets just a little bit too greedy. Back down the hill once again for the flat-out race through the kinks and to the line. It's time for a classic Georgian showdown right here at Road Atlanta, and it's all live here on Simsational TV.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Speed Nation Wednesday Cup here. It's season 22 of the series, and it's myself, Peter Clark, and Dean Hanley in the commentary box. How's it going, Dean? Last week, as you said in the intro, was an absolute showdown. We had 2 different race winners across the 3 races, and that means this championship is shaping up quite nicely after the first round.
I tell you what, this one is shaping up to be a big one. The car is going to demand from guys to carry speed through, and Pete, have a look at the top 10 driver standings there. We've got Fabian Fitness leading the way after that first round on 150 points. Ryan Carlson hot on his heels there on 139. And then not much of a gap between Brendan Hack sitting there in third. Well, he's the champion from the last series. Benny Hines in fourth. Tommy Corks on 130. Ezra sitting there in sixth on 122. Lee Crowther, the Birdman himself, in seventh, 122. Gray Ward also on 122. Connor Mitchell in ninth at 118 points, and Heath Langley on 118 points. So I tell you what, this is as tight as it comes, Pete, for a start of a series. This is going to be an epic season, this one.
It really is, and as you said, the standings are just so close, and there's still plenty of racing to come up as well, because here we go. So Tsukuba has been ticked off. We're here at Road Atlanta for tonight, and you can see there as well, there is plenty on offer with cash prizes for the first time in the Wednesday Cup history. Cash prizes, all thanks to Speed Nation here. $100 to your champion here. Can Brendan Hack make it back-to-back on this one? We'll have to wait and see, as we still have to go to Eastern Creek, Brands Hatch, Mid-Ohio, Lime Rock, and Oklahoma after this round of racing. So many races yet to come, and it is all in these massive rotary RX-8s. It is going to be huge, and you can see there as well, 232 horsepower with only 215 newton meters of torque. They weigh 1,300 kilos, so it is going to be quite the effort for these cars. Once they get them up to speed, momentum's going to be paramount. Who is going to be the best one to be able to do that? We've got plenty of big names towards the front, and a couple of names that we didn't see the last time around, but we've still got 30-something runners here tonight. It's a huge field here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a few surprise packages in there too. I see MasterCard Muddles in there, and I actually heard a little rumour, Pete. I think the alien himself is racing tonight. Did you hear about that one?
Oh, I think I've seen the name pop up and down in the timings, and that will be quite the show if he does turn up, as now we're getting ready here for the qualifying session. It's going to be a few of these drivers, especially the ones wanting to get themselves towards the front of the pack here, and we've got plenty of cars wanting to do that because track position in these cars is going to be paramount, and especially at a smaller circuit like we saw last time round, it's not going to be as big of an issue here. The tracks are quite a bit longer than what Tsukuba is, but still, there is so many things that could go wrong for your lap around a couple of key corners if you're caught up in traffic.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a bit of push and shove here. The guys are going to have to try and float the cars around nice and smooth and just hold it together for this one. It's not going to be a case of get out in front and run away with it. You're going to have to be ultra smooth. Make sure your lines are perfect. You are hitting those apexes, hitting those corners perfectly and carrying as much speed as you possibly can through. And look at that. The usual suspects have got up there and lined up straight away. This is going to be a highly contested series, this one. Fabian Fitness has won about 1,000,001 Wednesday Cups, but I tell you what, Brendan Hack has had some outstanding performances. He's been right up there. But then you got Benny Hines, the Birdman, the list goes on. I could rattle off half this field. It's a ridiculously talented field, this one. So I'm expecting some big things, Pete. And you know me, I get all excited over quali. I love seeing those fast times roll in.
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch him through, and it's going to be Benny Hines to lead the pack on, and he's the one out in the front of the train, so he's going to have the clean air out in front, no distractions, but that mirror will be full of plenty of cars wanting to get themselves a bit further up the field, and you can see plenty of guys using the sliding available in these cars to try and get as much tire temp as possible. It's really difficult to get the tire temps up when you don't have as much horsepower because you can't really try and get a bit of wheel spin in them and to try and just scrub up the surface temp there on the tires. So it's going to be all about how much you can swing it from side to side to get that tire temp in these cars. And I think especially in the first sector, if the tires aren't up to temperature, we're going to see plenty of people really struggle to get that lap time in.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to want to get the tyre temp up, the brake temp up, and then get yourself right. Get yourself settled, get your head right, and just try and lay down some lap times. And that is not an easy thing to do. You start having a look at the little leaderboard. You start going, how far off a time am I? And you need to wipe all of that. Get all of that right out of your head and just lay down the best lap you can. As we see Benny Hines now, he's come around that right-hander onto the main straight, so he's about to lay down a lap time. So we're about to see what everyone's got in their arsenal just to open up here, just an opening standing and see what they can come out with. But there has been some red-hot times in practice. Guys are really putting it in at the moment, so I'm expecting to see some fast ones, Pete. This is going to be electric, this. Hold on to your hats, people.
It is going to be electric indeed. It is a very, very fast circuit here at Road Atlanta, and it is going to be a qualifying session for the ages. It's going to be such a big track, but I do think that we're going to have insanely close to the lap times here as the qualifying session goes. We're on board here with Ben Hines. He is a previous season champion of the Wednesday Cup, and he will be looking to definitely try and continue on some fantastic form. Currently sitting 4th in the championship standing, so he's going to be looking to try and improve on that momentum. He's 18 points behind championship leader of Fabian Fitness, but this circuit's fantastic. It is. It's located in Hull County of Georgia. It's just north of Braselton, so it is in a beautiful part of the USA, and it's 55 years old, Dino, this place, and it's still got so much more to give. Plenty of series come racing here, including the IMSA Sports Car Championship and Moto America, so plenty of diverse categories race around here. And tonight, it is these RX-8s are going to be sounding like a pack of buzzing bees around here. And he gets the braking point just beautiful there, going into that very complex corners of 10A and 10B. And now this is the really fast run down through the kinks. It's all downhill, so momentum is going to be huge. And he flies it through the final corner of turn number 12. And he will lay down a 139.3. And it's immediately eclipsed by Brendan Hack, your previous champion. So he's got a bit to say here in qualifying. And we've now got a few people still trying to get it done, and Andre Elliott, unfortunately, he's had a moment here at the tail end of his lap.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Andre because I tell you what, he'd be loving to throw down here. He loves these American circuits and loves to go hard at them. But have a look at that for etiquette, getting right out of the way there and dusting his next lap. So that's how you go racing, people. Fabian Fitness, this is another one to watch here. Fabian missed out on the last series. He missed a few races and he'll be keen to make amends here. There's a few guys who have got something to say about it. And I tell you what, he's thrown it straight up the front and then he's gone fastest first sector. So he's going to go for it again. He's going to try and throw down the fastest lap time he can. But Pete, I keep looking up and down that board made of entrance, and there are some very fast customers in here. So I'm not putting money on anyone just yet. I'm going to let this play out and see what happens. But Fabian, I'd definitely be keeping an eye on him. Hackster, Benny Hines, there's a few of them there, Pete. This is going to be a tough one to call.
It's going to be insanely tough to call. It's currently less than a tenth of a second separating Fabian Fitness and Brendan Hack, just to show how close it is, and it's only half a second between your top three. So for a circuit in this length, in these cars, it is going to be quite the tale with how close it is. 4 kilometers and 12 corners this place is. So it is quite the task for these RX-8s with only 200 something horsepower that they managed to get. Rusty Carlson, he was telling me in the pre-race, that he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it tonight. He had to still make his way home from uni. It looks like he's made it because he's just made it up to position number 6 in qualifying. Brendan Hack goes fastest once again. How does Fabian Fitness go? He goes faster again, this time by a huge 0.8 of a second. He's just been able to pull on Brendan Hack. So that is a huge margin for him to get here as the more flying laps come on through. Here comes Brody Barber. He's got 2 green sectors and gets himself now inside the top 10 in the number 1 machine.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that for a lap time. Jumped into the 37s. That's going to give everyone something to think about here. The Hackster, that will make him push. Remember I was saying earlier on about you just need to worry about yourself, not everyone else. As we have a look at Cookie here. Now, Cookie is also a very capable driver, so who knows where he'll end up. At the moment, he's sitting in 21st, but I really expect that one to change. I expect him to get a little further up the front when he gets on his game. And as I say that, there's a commentator curse, Cookie. You can hold that one against me, mate. As I'm talking you up straight off the track. So these cars, you can see everyone pushing them as hard as they possibly can to try and keep the momentum up. And then all it takes is a little bump, a little wobble, a little lock of a brake, and bang, you're straight off the track. I think we're going to see a fair bit of that tonight. But the ones who can control this, hold it, and keep it together are the ones that are going to end up the front. We've got someone with the hazard lights on at the moment. Not sure what's going on there. There's no safety car. He's trying to be one, but he's not going to. Beautiful move there. Got straight out of the way of Fabian Fitness. Love that sort of stuff. And Fabian, he's gone fastest in the middle section again, so he's not happy with that 37.7. He's going to push on with it. Let's see how he goes through this last section of corners, because I tell you what, the car gets awfully floaty through here on this right-hander. You're trying to keep that power down. You're trying to stay on the edge. And what does Fabian do? Can he go faster? He does not. He does a 38.081. So I tell you what, he can't go faster, but that 37 is a top time. Rusty, here's a man that could really throw a spanner in the works. He's sitting second in the championship at the moment, and when this man gets his head together, he is damn near unstoppable. So we're going to see some hardcore battling from the front guys tonight. But I tell you what, the times at the moment, it's not a massive spread over that top 5, and I still expect that to get a bit tighter, Pete. We've got just over 1:40 to go. So, I mean, at the moment, I still think it's anyone's game.
Yeah, it really is anyone's game, and Rusty is just improving here lap on lap as well. So we spoke when he got it up into 6th position. He's now been able to get himself up into 4th position, as now Lindsay Muddle gets himself up into 13th. So he's another driver that's decided to show his face. We spoke briefly about him in the pre-show as well. Lindsay Muddle making his Wednesday Cup debut for season at 22 here. And maybe it was just a little bit of that Speed Nation prize that has caught his attention, and things that maybe he can give these a bit of a red hot go, is what I'm trying to say. But he's always saying he loves a car with a bit of downforce. These have just about the opposite of downforce, I'd say. They almost create lift, especially when you get to the top of the corners. That's how little downforce these cars have. And that wing, I can guarantee you, is just for looks on the rear end of that thing. So Lindsay Muddle is going to be trying to get himself up inside the top 10. He's only in 13th at the moment, so he's still got a little bit of time to find. He has to find only about 0.2 of a second to get himself up there, and he's so far got 2 green sectors, so he's well and truly on the way to get himself into this top 10 in his 27 machine. So And can he get that one done? He's just got to climb over this hill and then get himself down to the bottom. And he's got just enough time to cross the start-finish line to go for one more lap here with 20 seconds left on the clock. So anyone who wants to start one more flying lap have to get themselves there. And he's well and truly got himself inside the top 10. He's up into position number 4 with a 39 flat. What a lap from Lindsay Muddle to get himself inside the top 5. Where is Fabian Fitness on the track? Because he's now well and truly on his last flying lap. 3, 2, 1, and then that's it. That's the checkered flag on this qualifying session. Gray Ward gets himself up into 8th position, then immediately runs it off the road at the end of turn number 1. So his session has come to an end. Brody Barber's session has come to an end. Benny Hines is in the pit lane, so he'll have to settle for P3 at best. Lee Crowther gets himself up to position 6. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because this timing tower is going to go nuts.
Yeah, the timing tower is going to be set alight. I was just about to see something. I saw Crowther sitting down in the field, and that was a little surprising to me. So I am not surprised to see him pop up into 6th position there. Not sure if there'll be that many more gains here. I'd be keeping an eye on a few guys, but Fabian's time, that 1:37.7, that is a damn fast time. That is a great time from him. He'll be happy with that. He won't have to throw down here. He won't have to go faster again. I can't see that being challenged. But I tell you what, anywhere from 2nd to 10th position, there could be some changes there. Someone's got real loose just hooking it into the pits there. That's how loose those things were. You saw the car, and then someone across the finish line doing donuts across the line. You see how loose these things get. So we've only got a few players here who can really rattle it, and I tell you what, it's Lindsay Muddle. He's going to go for a bit of a draft here. He's going to get in and see if he can get suck. He's not going to get it at the moment. That might have just balked him a little bit on that last corner, but he's going to throw it in nice and hard. Can he improve? He does. That's an improvement, but not enough to get him up a position. So I believe that's set. I think that's how our top 10 will look here. And as I say that, Ezra pops it up in the 10th. We've got Connor Mitchell coming through now. Can he go quicker? Bang, changes again. Oh, as I open my mouth, Pete, that leaderboard is changing like you would not believe. I think I need to shut the hell up.
Yeah, that was absolutely off the charts, but in the end, it goes to Fabian Fitness as your pole sitter here. So, with that said and done, your front row, Fitness versus Rusty Carlson, and then it is going to be away here for this one. So, do not go anywhere. As you can see, everyone's getting ready to go racing here. They're that eager to get going. So, we're going to go to an ad break, and we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, for race number 1.
Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Contact Simulator Driver Training for more information.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for race 1, and have a look at that grid of angry bumblebees. These RX-8 are going to set this track alight tonight. In pole position, we've got Fabian Fitness. Look at him there, and right beside him, we've got Brendan Hack, and this man is ready to throw down the challenge. We've got Benny Hines, then we've got Lindsay Muddle, Rusty Carlson, Lee Crowther, Tommy Corks, Dion Clerk, Connor Mitchell, Gray Ward, the haircut, Brody Barber, Ezra there, sitting there ready to go. We've got the Holy Tree. Then we've got Langley, Remo Grand, Rob Priest, expecting big things from him tonight. Paul Buttigieg, Andre Elliott, had a bit of a bummer in quali, but look out for him. Nick Mole, Clint Olive, Cosmo, Bill, Harriet, Bensley, and Smart. Oh, we've got a full field here tonight. Sadler, Hayden Cook down the back there. Watch for him coming through. Wallace and Cowie. And then we've got Boak, Marzella, head of the cheese board. So this is a packed grid, this one. Have a go at this. We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. And then right up the back there, we've got the alien himself, Zach. Well, what do you think about that one, Pete?
Oh, it is going to be one to watch. That one is B, but we have got ourselves getting ready for the race start here. It is 6 red lights up on the screen. These drivers are racing here at Road Atlanta, and it was a shocking start there off of the second road, and it is going to be a drag race down to the start finish line between Fabian Fitness and Brendan Hack. Look at them go. They're nearly neck and neck heading into the first corner here. Who is going to get the move done? It's going to be Fitness around the outside. He's going to try and use that momentum to his advantage. Someone has gone spearing off in the background, and so that's going to be a driver tumbling down the order and not going to be able to hold on to his position. But take a look at how it is playing out into the background, and it is going to be a huge pack. 33 cars here tonight for the RX-8s here at the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup at Road Atlanta, and look at them float it all the way through here in the first sector of racing here, using all the exit curb. Don't get too egregious though, because you'll find yourself in the gravel. And here we go, Rusty Carlson, he is on the move here. He wants to take second place as quickly as possible from P6 on the grid. Can he get it done? He hangs it around the outside at turn number 7, and now back into turn number 8. It is going to be a chance here to try and get on the exit. He can't get it done. He's gone into the gravel, and so too have all the cars in the background. They've followed him through on the gravel, and it is going to be all between these two drivers now. They're drag racing each other down the back straight as they head through the kink of turn number 9, and it looks like Rusty's actually been able to use that momentum around the outside, has got himself now up into second position, and now it's time for Brendan Hack to try and use a little bit of that slipstream and see if he can't take advantage of this and get himself back up into second position around the outside. He's going to have to go as they head into the braking zone, but he brakes slightly early. He's going to try and go for the switchback here. How is this one going to go between the two of them as I have to clear my throat? And it is down the inside for Brendan Hack, and he will get second position back away. But this battle is heating up and is brewing up, and all that does is allow Fabian Fitness to drive away by 2 seconds on the opening lap.
Yeah, have a go at that. Fabian's just running off into the distance, but Rusty's throwing it up the inside. This is getting aggressive now, and then you've got Hines in there for good measure as well. So Rusty threw it up the inside, lost a little bit of momentum, and Hines straight up behind him closing in. So this is on now. These boys battling hard. This is second, third, and fourth we're watching right now. All through the field there is battles aplenty going on, but right now the action is here. These boys all wanting a podium. Rusty will be doing everything he can to try and get around the Hackster, because I tell you what, that's a championship points for him, and he wants to get as close as he can to Fabian Fitness. You don't want this man to run away with it. Oh, look at the argy-bargy there. A little bit of a bump. It's all happening in this mid-pack. We're around 13th position here, so this is 13th down. And have a look at this for an angry little pack. Mitchell trying to hold them all at bay. He's got a very cranky haircut right behind him. Remo Grand, Clint Olive, and Rob Priest for good measure. Then Andre. Then it's Zach O'Reilly. Andre and Rob are going hard at it, I can see in the background there. But Mitchell, he's starting to pull away from this little group, and that is what you want to do. Put some space between yourself. But it is all happening. Zach O'Reilly got himself up into 18th position. He's just gone around the dock there. Oh, the dock gives him a little tap on the way through just to go, excuse me. Oh, Zach copping it left, right and centre out there. They won't like him carving them up like that, as he's going to throw it straight up the inside of Rob here. Look at that, taking candy from a baby, that move. He got that done a little too easy for my liking, Pete.
Yeah, that was a very clean crafted overtake there for himself, but look at this battle for the final podium positions. Really, it is between these drivers. It's Fabian Fitness now 2.5 seconds ahead here in this opening race, and he is just driving away with this one, and it is showing his dominant force here in the RX8 Cup. And it is now Brendan Hack still holding on to that second position, but he's been able to gap Rusty just a little bit because he's now playing defense a little bit more than he probably would like with Benny Hines, and you can see the different racing lines and the momentum they're able to carry through the exit there of the S's, and that's just going to allow himself to try and get up to the back here of Rusty Carlson. He's not able to do it this time around because, as I was talking, gets a little bit of the gravel there on the exit and unfortunately ruins that, but you can see how much he's able to just bring it back in through the braking zone, and now he can try and use a bit of the slipstream that's available to him. And as you can see on the timing as well, Zach O'Reilly, he's just carving his way through the field. He's now up in position number 16. Didn't we say he was just up into 18th? He is making a very quick work of all of these drivers here, carving his way through the field and proving why he is a force to be reckoned with here in the series. If he shows up, you know, he's a bit of a wild card here. He will come in, ruffle a few feathers, and he'll disappear for a round or two, and then make his way back when he feels like just jumping in and dusting off a few cobwebs on the simulator. But he up into 16th position now, got that one away from Clint Olaf, and it is just all eyes forward for Zach O'Reilly. No pressure from behind, because every time he gets by someone, he just drops them.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it doesn't matter whether he's behind the mic or behind the steering wheel. This man has it all going on. And now we're at 7th position. We've got Dion. He's in a hot little battle there. He's got Gray Ward right behind him. That man, Gray Ward, he'll be having that deep voice booming right now. He'll be, get out of the way, I'm coming through. So Gray trying to get up behind Dion. If he can make it work, Dion, he'll be loving the Jap car, but he won't be liking that it's not a GDR as he fights to hang on to this position. But Gray Warden 8th is all over him like a rash. Have a go at that. And then look at the hints in the background. There's Tommy Corks, the man with the magic thumbs. He wants a piece of this action too. So all it's going to take is a little slip and he'll be in. And here's Zach O'Reilly. He's up into 16th. He's going to try and make a move on Remo Grant here. Remo will be looking in the rear vision mirror going, oh no, it's Zach. This is going to happen. And I tell you what, it's going to happen all right as Zach. He's got a good slipstream here. He moves it over. It looked like Remo was going to have a cover, but thought better of it. And Zach O'Reilly, he's going to throw it up the inside. Can he get it done here? He just can't get it done clean enough, but he will here. Look at that, straight up the inside, a little bit of a bump. Oh, that was just a little kiss there. That didn't even unsettle either car as they sway towards each other. It's a little game of side chicken. Who's going to have a go at it? But Zach, it's eyes forward. He's just going to try and plough through that field, Pete. Clint Olaf right now, have a look at that for a view. He'll be watching this going, well, he went around me, so he might as well go around you. And Remo needs to tuck in behind him now. Just follow him. Try and follow him through the field. That's what I would be doing right now. But out in front, Pete, have a look at those lap times. Fabian Fitness, he is gone.
He is gone indeed. 3.5 seconds he's now got, by the way, as well. So he is just out of here. And for Tommy Corks as well, he got really close to the back of Gray Ward and just wasn't able to get the move done. He got up to just under 1/10 of a second to the back of Gray Ward. And once again, you can see he's got the pace. He's got the pace to get around Gray Ward here in position number 8. He just can't find the way through. Gray's doing a fantastic job of putting that car exactly where Tommy doesn't want to see it. And he just can't find his way around. And in doing so, Dion Clerk, who was leading this train, has now been able to pull about 1.5 seconds on these guys. So it's amazing how quickly things turn and change here in this series, because as soon as you lose the momentum stuck behind someone else, it is just a case of trying to get those revs back up. These things love to rev. They're revving well up, and it is a case of keeping those revs up high, because that's where peak power is in these machines. So it's all about keeping that momentum and making sure that you can keep onto the back of the car in front. And that is exactly what all these guys here in this train are doing. They're staying on the back of Brendan Hack. He was able to drive away just a little bit ahead of Rusty Carlson, who has been able to reel in that gap once again. We saw him get really anxious and try and go for a couple of those moves. We saw him do that in Tsukuba as well last week, and it ended up with a couple of spins and costing him a possible extra podium on top of that win that he got as well. So he's probably learnt his lesson from that one. He's probably thinking of a more calmer way to go for the overtakes this time around, and rather than going for the first opportunity he sees, because as Ayrton Senna once said, you know, if you see a gap and you don't go for it, are you even a racing car driver? However way it went, but this time around, he's probably going to be thinking of the other.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. But I tell you what, Hackster here doing a great job of holding down second position. He's just got his eyes. We'll know those guys are starting to catch in on him, but he doesn't care. He's just got his eyes forward and he's just going to race on. And that is how you do it, because that gap has really started to even out now to Fabian Fitness. Everyone started to settle into their little groove. Rusty seems to be making up places, and you know, he's quick in some places, but other places the Hackster has got it all over him. So Rusty right now needs to just sit back, watch, and just try and see where he can make some ground. But I tell you what, he can't sit back too much, because Benny Hines, he is a very fast customer, that man, and he won't sit back and watch. He'll be wanting to get around Rusty and try and make a play to go as forward as he can. Oh, and Bill Cosmo's round. Cosmo has gone around. Oh, the DJR entry in this RX-8 series has gone around. He's in the pits. That's a shame for Billy. He would have been right into this. He would have been trying to go as far as he can and as hard as he can. But back to this little battle. Rusty just seems to be starting to reel Hackster in at the moment. So we could see a fight on our hands here with just over 5 minutes to go. I think it'll start to heat up a little bit now, Pete. I think we're going to see some action.
And on cue, have a look at this, because Remo Grand has now got quite the train of cars behind him. He's got Clint Olaf and Andre Elliott. Olaf now down the inside here. Will he get the position completed? And a look at that. He goes straight on through here, down the hill into the braking zone, and he will get the move done through 10A and 10B. And speaking of overtaking, Zach O'Reilly is continuing to do so up over the curbs at the final corner. That's a place that you don't typically see the overtakes happen. And it is all kicking off, as you said, because now Lindsay Muddle, he's also got himself around Lee Crowther. So he's now converted. He's a qualifying now back into a top 5 position here for this race, which will bode fantastically for himself as we get ready for the next race, which is going to be a reverse top 8. And so that's going to put him quite nicely onto possibly the second row of the grid, and he gets it all out sideways going through the gravel, which is just going to give himself a poor run of momentum and allow Lee Crowther to go straight back on through. And now does Dion Clerk take advantage of it? He goes to the inside. Lindsay here could lose 2 in the space of 1 straight, and that's just about what's going to happen, because Dion Clerk goes on through. And that was a huge mistake from himself. But now he does have the slipstream heading down at the back straight now as we go under the Motul sign. And he will have the slipstream. But look at that. He's still got no momentum with that one as he now tries to get to the back of Dion Clerk. And it's just not going to happen for him. So he's going to have to sit back and try and find another way on through. But it is going to be a big case of how is he going to get his way through. Because we know he's got the pace to get up there. Where can he do it? But Rusty, he's closing onto the back of Brendan Hack once again. He's now only half a second behind. He's kind of dropped. Ben Hines, who we're talking about, is right on the tail of it as he goes through. There we go. Sets the fastest lap of the race in doing so. And look at this for a battle now. Clerk is alongside Lee Crowther as they head into turn 1. And it's Lindsay Muddle trying to push him through and trying to take Lee Crowther as well. And down the inside. And just about they're all going to go off the road. And in the end, Lindsay Muddle will take the 2 for 1 price. They've all gone in super deep. And in the end, it was only Lindsay that kept it on the black stuff.
Yeah, and Lindsay Muddle, what an impressive drive for a tin top. This is not his car of choice. He likes something with a lot more power and a lot more downforce. So he's really doing a great job out there tonight. Got himself up in a 5th position, was absolutely gifted that when Crowther and Dion both went deep. How deep did they go? They went way too deep. They ended up flying off the track. But look at this. Here we go. This is starting to spice up now. Brendan will be looking in his rear vision mirror. He's going to have to start thinking a little defensive because Rusty, he's just chipped away at that gap and managed to get himself up. He's just on 3/10 off now. It's about to be 2/10 off. So here's Rusty. Hold on to your hats for a grandstand finish here. We've got just under 2 minutes to go. Rusty's going to throw it to the outside now. He's not going to muck around. He's gone to the outside. So what's going to happen here is the Hackster's going to have to go real deep and try and hold that line line. How deep do they dare go? They're going to try and go 2 by 2. This isn't going to benefit the Hackster. He comes across there. There's a little tap. Rusty does the gentleman thing and gets out of it. Hackster is clear. So now Brendan, this gives him a little bit of a breather. Rusty now having to make up that gap again. So that's gone out to 4/10. So Rusty lost all of it there. He could have stayed in it and spun him, but didn't. This is great racing from these guys. This is how you race clean. Rusty really showing us how it's done. He's had a few little lessons from the past championship. Now he's keeping his head together, so he just needs to chip away at that gap. He's probably not going to get many more laps. I would say this will nearly be the last lap of the race, Pete. So if he's going to do it, it has to be this lap, mate.
It has to be this lap, and where is he going to have the pace? Because we've seen him get right to the back, and then he either makes this tiny little mistake, or he just can't convert the momentum and the pace that he has through those section of corners to be able to put the move onto Brendan Hack. And at the moment, he's a little bit too far back to try and move into here, but he could try and get the exit and get in the momentum and the slipstream going down the back straight into that giant braking zone where we just saw him try and go for the overtake. And it is going to be very much a case of that. He's nice and close. He's only 0.3 of a second behind Brendan Hack, so that could well and truly give him the opportunity here. And you can see that it's now down to only 0.2 of a second. Brendan's well and truly aware of this. He's weaving down the straights, trying to break the slipstream, and look at how close he is now getting to the back. Rusty tried the outside last time. He goes to the outside again, as we have a little bit of a server lag spike there, so he doesn't go into the wall, but in fact goes for a move around the outside. He's much deeper onto the brakes this time, but he's not as deep as Brendan Hack, who holds it once again through there. Here comes Ben Hines. He's going to try and get this one done, but out in front, Fabian Finnis, he'll take the win. And how is it going to play across the start-finish line between Brendan Hack and Rusty Carlson? They were pushing each other through the final set of corners, and in the end, it's only 0.3 of a second separating those three drivers crossing the start-finish line. Tommy Corks just gets himself ahead of Lee Crowther, so he breaks up that battle, and what a battle that was. And for Zach O'Reilly, he'll cross the line in position number 12 from dead last, so a fantastic drive for himself, and the rest of the cars now streaming on through. It was a very quiet race from Andre Elliott in position number 17. He'll cross the line ahead of Remo Grand and Rob Priest. Paul Buttigieg is next across the line, and how's this for a battle into the braking zone? And it's Cowie, went down the inside, contact with Sam Bensley, and so it looks like he's trying to readdress that one, and Bensley will go on through here, and so he will, he's actually not gone on through, so he's behind Cowie still, and they will cross the line in positions number 25 and 26.
Yeah, what a race that was, Pete. That had it all. I saw some rather gentlemanly driving there. I hope that form carries on. But I tell you what, the more races we get into, the more it doesn't. But this man, right here on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, winner of race 1 of round 2. And I tell you what, he got out in front. He showed everyone how it was done. Hackster with that second position held his nerve. That was a great job by him, but no chance of catching Fabian. I'm quite interested to see what happens in race 2. Can anyone catch this man? I am unsure, Pete.
That is going to be a huge question, but he'll have to do it from position number 8 in the second one. So how is he with the traffic? Because with a lap around here being as long as it is the lap traffic is not one that is really of a concern. So he has to do it all on track next time around. We're going to go to a quick ad break here and get ready for race number 2.
Motorsport isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And when performance matters, you need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams, and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, Zamp helmets, and safety gear you can rely on the track, Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action, and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with Wicked Audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort, and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, asphalt, or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well, listen up. ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted by racers worldwide.
Ah yes, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. What a ripper of race number 1 that we just had. That was a fantastic race and it went to Fabian Fitness in the end. And how's it going to go this time around for all of these drivers? Time will only tell for them all, because it is going to be Tommy Quarks off the front row of the grid after finishing position number 8, with Gray Ward, Lindsay Muddle back on the second row of the grid just from race number 1, Dion Clerk in position number 4, and then Benny Hines, Rusty Carlson, Brendan Hack, and Fabian Fitness round out your reverse grid here for race number 2, followed by Lee Crowther and then Connor Mitchell to round out the top 10 here for this one. Then it's Ezra Simons, Zach O'Reilly in a position at number 13, Heath Langley, Liam Holyoke, Brody Barber, Clint Olive, Andre Elliott, Remo Grand, Rob Priest, and Paul Buttigieg to round out the top 20 here, with Hayden Wallace, Josh Sadler, Hayden Cook, James Cowie, Sam Bensley, Hosea Boak, Nick Mole, Thomas Marzella in position number 31, Dave Smart, Peter in position number 33, and then Osler as well with Mark Cooper and Bill Cosmo, who we saw have the incident and throw it back to the pit lane in that one. So it is all going to be on the line between all of these drivers as we get ourselves ready here for this one. How do we think this one's going to go, Dino?
I tell you what, this is going to be a straight up dogfight, this one. We're going to see some boys battling hard and trying to get as far up that field as they possibly can. Tommy Corks with the view there. Look at that. It's all open field. Can he keep it that way in a turn one? He'll want to get a good start and not get absolutely swamped. This is going to be an awesome start. We've got 6 lights up. We're just about ready for a go here, ladies and gentlemen. And we are away, and it looks like Grey Ward got an absolute cracking start. Lindsay Muddle didn't look like he was that far behind him as we see the guys start to file through. And as I said, Grey Ward got a great start. He's taken it from Corksy straight off the line. We've got 3 wide there. I see some bumping. This could end in tragedy. We've got Muddle, Clerk and Hack all into it as well. They file around the first corner. Looks like we've got a nice clean start there, but Corksy, he's going to try and trundle through. Something happened there because Grey Ward had the lead well and truly before, so something happened with Grey. Brendan there in 5th position. He's going to try and hold that. They've all gone single files. They're all thinking smartly about this one. They all just want to last and make it through. Hackster there using a bit of the grandstand to get through. That was a little bit more than just the corner, and all over the back of him is Hines. I saw Hines dart, so he's going to try and make a move. He's on the outside here. That's not the optimal place, but when he tries to cut back, it's going to be hard because bang, there's Fabian with his nose right up there, and Fabian will be late on the brakes there to force Hines wide, and he's done exactly that. And then in the background lurking is Rusty Carlson. Rusty won't want to repeat. He'll want to try and run through the field as much as he can. That's opened a nice little gap to the Hackster there. He's just starting to pull away, and look at these guys jostle for position in the background. We've got them swerving left and right there, trying to get through. It's Rusty on Fitness, and Rusty, he's trying to find a little place to give Fitness a bit of a how you doing, but Fitness not an easy man. He's gone right to the inside here. How late on the brakes does he dare? And I tell you what, that's pretty bloody late. Look at that. Rusty with a commanding move there. Very late on the brakes, and then sort of held him up mid-corner, which made Fabian have to back up. We've got passes coming through. Dion's gone around. He's around Grey Ward, so he's throwing it straight up into 3rd position there. That's a great effort from him. Lindsay Muddle in 2nd position. That's a great drive from Lindsay. As I said, not the kind of car that he likes to be in, but doing a commanding job tonight. But have a look at this for a little angry battle pack. This one hasn't panned out enough yet, Pete. This is going to carry on for a bit.
No, it hasn't. Look at it all going off as they head on through the S's. This is typically a place you don't want to be going side by side because it only ends up in tears most of the time. I've just noticed on the timing as well, Andre Elliott has thrown it to the pit lane, so his day is going from bad to worse. And in the background, someone's on the grass, and they're really going at it here in the background, and it looks like it was possibly Brody Barber going at it, and they're 3 wide on the exit here, and down the back straight here as well. It's Lee Crowther, Connor Mitchell, and Heath Langley battling it out, banging doors, trying to get each other their own piece of real estate, but in the end there's only room for 2 of them really to go on through. Here's now Clerk is putting on the pressure here onto Lindsay Muddle, and it is all kicking off now for position number 2. And once again here, your race leader has bolted away at the end of the first lap by about 2 seconds, and it's all because in the 2nd position they continue to battle, and they will continue the battle here, especially here with Dion Clerk leading the way, because now Lindsay Muddle, he's got Brendan Hack right there, the try, and to take position number 3 away from him. And then just behind them is Grey Ward, and Fabian Fitness is also battling it out in the background there with Rusty Carlson, who goes down the inside once again. Brendan Hack will get the move done on Lindsay here, and absolutely does him, and a little bit of Morse code on the back of Muddle's car as well from Grey Ward as he pushes him pretty much out of the corner exit there, and will not get that position done there. He's going to have to find a new place to try and get it. Tommy Cork sets the fastest lap of the race, but how's this for a battle in and behind? It's Rusty Carlson now leading the way of this little battle pack for position number 6 with Fabian Fitness. Zach O'Reilly is in amongst it now as well inside your top 10. Ezra Simons and Benny Hines rounds out this little battle pack here, and once again the exit goes to Fabian Fitness, and the battle in front continues to enrage as well, because now Grey Ward has got himself ahead of Lindsay here, and he cannot put the pressure now and apply it to Brendan Hack as the battling once again continues, and it's ended with Ezra Simons who going around backwards. He's going to fall well and truly outside your top 10. And look at the trainer cars coming in. Oh no, this is going to go terribly for him. He's not going to be able to find a gap in the traffic, and this just means he now finds himself all the way down to just about plumb last outside of your top 30. What a transfer of events there, and in the end, it's going to be muddled down the inside, and he's not going to get it done. There was contact there with, sorry, who was that? It was Grey Ward that he's made contact there with, and now that's allowed the battle pack right behind them to really close in on them. So this is now just going to compress this field, fighting it out for now 4th position even further. What a complex of corners it's been for this battle pack.
Yeah, I did warn you this was going to be a dogfight, and that is exactly what we have going on right now. I'm loving every second of this as we're seeing some hard heads go at it. Have a look at this view. That's Zach O'Reilly and Fabian Fitness, and they are both into it. Neither of these guys will want to give an inch. Zach's run really wide there. He's doing a gizzy on the grass. He might be cooling the tyres. Not sure what he's up to, but he's lost a little bit there. Rusty will be loving every second of this. It's going to give him a chance to have a little bolt. He's going to try and edge that gap out as much as he possibly can and see if he can catch one Lindsay Muddle. And Lindsay, I tell you what, with all the hip and shouldering going on, and Gray's off. Oh, there's been an incident there. Grey Ward is gone. Absolutely gone into next year. Wouldn't surprise me if that was a bit of a hardware issue, because I tell you what, to fly off like that, that doesn't look like it was a bump. Looks like there was a hardware issue. And have a look in the background here. Fabian Fitness and Rusty Carlson, they are back at it again. And then in the background there, you've got O'Reilly and Mitchell. But let's ride with Fabian for a second. He's got the run here. He's going to try and throw it up the outside. He hasn't. He's going to try and cut to the inside. Rusty, move it over for God's sake, man. And he does. He moves it over, and Fabian, bang, right around to the left. That's going to give him a chance to carry a bit of speed here. I'm sure Rusty will still be up the inside. This won't be a done move yet. Looks like a bit of a tap. Rusty's given him a bit of a don't argue, and it's a flat-out drag race down the straight. But Fabian looks like he got the better of the run there, so Fabian will hold the inside line. If he can stay in front of Rusty here, this will be on. Zach probably trying to play a smart move. He'll be lining up here and thinking, right, who do I bump? Who do I want to bump through here? He should be giving one of them a bump. He's going to look to the inside as well. He's going to try and follow Fabian through. He's hedged his bets. No, he's not. He's backed over behind Carlson. This is a spicy little battle here. All of these guys. So Fabian looking forward as well as looking in his rear vision mirror. But I tell you what, he was fast in, slow out. And Zach, bang, straight up the inside of Rusty Carlson. He's done the excuse me. He's going to follow Fabian right through, and Rusty has to get out of that as Zach is sliding across in front of him to cut the nose off. Great move, but Rusty's not done with it. He's gone back up the inside. I don't think so, Mr. O'Reilly. You're not having that one. He's taken it straight back off him. But all this is doing is benefiting Fabian Fitness. It's just letting him gap them just a little bit. And that is not what you want to do, Pete. You don't want to give Fabian an inch.
No, you really do not. And now that he's got 3 race wins so far out of 4 races in this season of the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup, he is the man to beat at the moment. And the only driver to have beaten him so far in a race is the driver that we're watching right now, is Rusty Carlson. But he's got himself too busy now on the mirrors, trying to defend from Zach O'Reilly. But he's got to be careful, because if he overcooks the defense, Benny Hines is right there to try and take away the position once again as well. He's looking to try and see if he can't get a 2-for-1, or even just simply follow one of these guys through, as now O'Reilly's been able to get a brilliant exit out of there, and now finds himself alongside Rusty Carlson. But the straight line from Carlson actually allows him to pull just ahead once more, but that will mean O'Reilly will be looking for the slipstream. There he goes. He tucks it right in, and so too Benny Hines. So it's a little bit of a freight train of rotaries at the moment, looking for an overtaking opportunity down here into the braking zone. O'Reilly pulls out at the last second, goes to the inside, catches Carlson unawares. Carlson will try and show the nose once again, and we've seen this before. It happened at Tsukuba, and he's gone for a little half spin there. He's forced Benny Hines to have to check up as well, and that's allowed O'Reilly just to get going once again. And this is Brody Barber. He's going for a spin here down the hill, so this is at the big braking zone after the back straightaway. He's losing a ton of positions here after going for that one, and that has been a really poor complex of corners for himself outside of your top 15 now. Lucky to stay inside the top 20. But how is this? Because Dion Clerk, I've been watching the timing slowly come down. He has now brought it into only 1.5 seconds between himself and Tommy Corks. The battle for the lead with 7 minutes of racing is on.
It definitely on. I tell you what, when Dion locks in, he absolutely locks in. So he will be trying to bridge this gap. He'll be seeing Corksy up there, and he'll think, you know what, I reckon I can catch him, and he'll be going for it. But in return, you'll have Haxter behind him thinking, Well, I reckon I can catch you too. So you're going to have 3 guys here that are each trying to hunt each other down. And here's a nice little battle. Lee Crowther sitting in 10th position, not a position we usually see Lee sitting in. He's just behind Mitchell there. He's going to try and get the overtake done, try and get himself further up than that 10th position. So I tell you what, it is battles all up and down the field. And Wallace has gone around, and that is not a great spot to be around. He's going to have to back it up, get out of the way and let the field go through. He's now got back on the power and just overcooked it, and the thing spun. Those tyres will be filthy right now, so he'll have no grip. He will have to take a couple of corners and just get the grip back. And we're back with Haxter now. Oh, and there's still a little battle here. It's Carlson and O'Reilly. They are still going at it. They're still not happy. Carlson obviously bridged that gap and caught up again. He's not happy about it, but Hines is going to be the winner here. He's going to throw it up the inside and just get on the gas hard, try and give him room. Look at that, gives Rusty room, doesn't run him off the track. And this battle is on for young and old. Hines now tucking back in behind. I thought he'd go up the inside, but he just did not. So Zach, something happened there. And Zach just got caught back up again. And Hines, he's now throwing it left and right and all over the shop. Imagine seeing that in your mirrors, Pete. That'd keep you awake for a while.
Absolutely. These things look super aggressive on the front end, so I can't imagine how daunting it would be looking in the rearview mirror. You've got one of those just right there, filling up the entirety of your mirror. It is going to be quite the distraction for all of these drivers when they're in these positions. And for Rusty, he's doing quite a good job at the moment of holding Benny Hines back, but you can tell just how much he's focusing on the mirrors, because he's now lost that much time to O'Reilly in front. He's lost about half a second on this lap alone as they cross the start-finish line, but there was a little mistake just there from O'Reilly, so this could give the run out of this corner now to Carlson. At the moment, the gap is about 5.5 tenths, and it is coming down at a great rate of knots. It is for Carlson at the moment now 3.5 tenths, and so with a little bit of the slipstream effect as well, this will be helping him that much as well. So but that all stemmed from the mistake from O'Reilly coming out of the corner. We just saw a glimpse there that he was in the grass there and out in front. How is this going at the moment? It is now only half a second between Dion Clerk and Tommy Corks. Dino, you said once he locks in, and that is exactly what he's done. Have a look at this. He is right on the back there of Tommy Corks, but he's also tying Brendan Hacken to this battle as well. And Fabian Fitness, your race 1 winner, he's not too far away from this battle either. 4 minutes of racing, that's plenty of time. Fabian Fitness is only 1.5 seconds away from this battle pack. This could very well be a 4-car battle very soon, and do not discount Lindsay Muddle as well.
Yeah, we've definitely got enough time to have a little battle going on here. But Dion showing some class. I don't think he'll mind me saying, but this man actually races a GDR in real life. Wesley Harriet has gone around. He's now got to gather it up and get himself going, sitting back there in 23rd position. But up the front, Dion will be doing everything to catch up. Oh, and have a go at the move here. Hines, he's around Carlson. So he's just sat, bided his time and gone bang and popped it in there. Could have been a little mistake from Carlson, but Carlson will not like that. He was just battling with Zach. Now I tell you what, look at this for the podium position. The Hackster right up behind Dion Clerk, and Dion closing in on Tommy Corks. This could tip the scales just a little bit if Dion starts looking in that rear vision mirror too much, because he was catching Corksy at a fast rate. Now he's got to keep it one eye backwards and just make sure he's not going to have the Hackster shoot up the inside. So we are definitely on for a 3-way battle here for the lead. Dion looks like he's getting some great exit speed here. He's definitely got the suck factor going on. He's going to put it right up the tail fin of Tommy Corks. Try and hang on to him and see if he can get a move done. He's through there cleanly. Doesn't have to worry about the Hackster behind him for now, but he will soon, because the Hackster, have a look how close he is. This is first, second and third, ladies and gentlemen, with just over 2.5 minutes to go. It doesn't get any better than this. We are in for a grandstand finish, and as you said before, Pete, look at that Fabian Fitness lurking in. Dion, he's throwing it up the inside. He's not going to wait any longer. Can he get this done? Corksy on the slide. Hackster's trying to go right up the inside. So we've got an inside move and an inside move. Hackster's going to try and go around Corksy as well. They're going too wide through here. This is not where you want to be too wide. And Fabian, that's just invited him in. He's going to jump on in there, stick his nose up where it doesn't belong, or does belong, depends which side of the fence you're sitting on, and he's going to try and get into this mix. These 4 guys are going to go at it hammer and tongs for the rest of this race, and Fabian looks like he's going to get it done here. Pete, save me. This is on.
it is well and truly on as Fabian Fitness now looks to the outside, and this will be for the podium. At the start of this lap, Tommy Corks was leading the race. He now finds himself just holding on to position number 4 here. He could very well find himself, after leading this race all of this time, and with a minute and a half left, now finds himself not even on the podium. It has been a big, giant swing of events here at Road Atlanta, and it has been giant as well, because this could very well now open up the opportunity for Fabian Fitness. Could he possibly steal yet another win in this series, because he's only got the race leader right here just in front of him. There's Fabian Fitness in the braking zone. He's only 1 second behind these guys. And with only 1 minute left on the clock, that means when they cross the start-finish line here, it will be the final lap of the race. So, we've got a 1-lap showdown here at Road Atlanta in Georgia of the United States. It is going to be fantastic racing. Your top 4, nose to tail. Lindsay Muddle's not too far away. He's well and truly in the picture. If any of these drivers come to stripe, Dion Clerk will lead him through turn number 1. He's got half a second in tow, and Fabian Fitness is continuing to close in the gap as well, but Brendan Hack will be wanting to try and apply the pressure as much as possible, and look at the pressure he's applying, and look how much closer he's getting as well. The gap was half a second just a moment ago. It's now only 0.3 of a second. He is closing in at a great rate of knots. So too Fabian Fitness in third. The car's getting a bit squirrely. They're using all of the track plus a bit more. He's using the grass to get the thing turned as they come over the crest of the hill, applying all of the pressure he absolutely can. And now your top 3 is separated by less than 0.6 of a second. It is nose to tail stuff here, and it is balls to the wall. I've been waiting to say that so far tonight, and I think this is well and truly the moment to say it is balls to the wall here. And look at your top 4 battling it out here. It may not be wheel to wheel just as yet, but it is well and truly a pressure cooker of a race at the moment. Dion Clerk leads them over the crest of the hill on the back straight away, and he's only got a couple of corners, Dino, here, and he could possibly take his first win of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Dion looks like he's in command at the moment, but the Hackster, he doesn't want it over yet. Fabian still trying to get the suck factor, and we all know Fabian, he can pull something, and look at that for a dive. That's a monstrous dive. He's gone down, he's touched Hack. He's going to have to readdress that. He slipped sideways. That's going to let Corksy through. Fabian with a desperate dive. He could lose a podium position here. He's going to. And Dion Clerk, the GDR man himself, has crossed the line for a win. We've got Hackster in second, Corksy in third. Fabian threw it all away on that last little section there. And then we've got Lindsay Muddle, Zach O'Reilly, Benny Hines, Rusty through. Connor Mitchell, great drive from him. Lee Crowther in 10th. The Holy Tree, he's holding down 11th position. He's through. Olive is through. We've got Langley. But Langley, he's got some cars. Bang, there's been a spin there. Barber has been spun. Absolutely spun into oblivion. I wasn't quite sure who spun him, but he had it all to play for. He's just going to sit there, gather his thoughts. There'll be a few swear words under that helmet, I tell you. And then as we keep running down the field, we've got Langley in 13th. Buttigieg got a 14th. Ezra in 15th, Marzella 16th, Rob Priest 17th, Nick Mole 18th, Wallace 19th, Cowie, then Elliott, then Barber, Cook, Harry, Sadler, and Grand. I tell you what, Pete, that had everything. That had me going right to the end, but this man right here, Dion Clerk, his first win. Congratulations, Dion. That was a great drive, Pete.
That was a fantastic drive. He just picked away at it, is what I'm trying to say. He just picked away at it and slowly brought that gap down. That was nearly 3 seconds between himself and Tommy Corks at the start of that one. Brought it down, and with just enough time as well, because with 2 laps to go, he was able to take away the race lead and claim a race victory by just over a second ahead of Brendan Hack, and then Tommy Corks to round out your podium. As you said, Fabian Fitness went for that monstrous dive. We were riding on board when it happened as well, and in the end, he just got that one slightly wrong, and then Lindsay Muddle will round out your top 5. O'Reilly, Hines, Carlson, Mitchell, and Crowther to round out your top 10. We're going to go for one final ad break as we get ready for the finale, the feature race of the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup here for season 22. Do not go anywhere.
Forms and expertise in getting the best gear. Simsational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Moser Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach, and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step and part of your setup is covered, from complete racing rigs and premium flight packs. We here at Simsational TV, back in Speed Nation, to deliver the gear that takes your experience to the next level. Fast shipping, trusted brands, unbeatable quality, and I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has it all. And as an excellent gift for all of our viewers tonight and members out there of Simsational TV, and if you're trying to get into racing, go to the checkout, buy some stuff off Speed Nation, because if you buy any full price product on the website, enter the code Simsational, that is SIMSATIONINAL. Oh my God, I can't even speak. And you will get a 10% discount off your end cart price. So go in there.
10%? 10% did you say, Zachary?
I did say 10%,
Oh,
mate. I did not say
goodness.
5. I did not say 4. I said 10.
Wow.
And here we are for race 3, the final one here at Road Atlanta, and we've got a reverse top 12. This will spice things right up. We've got Clint Olive off pole. Then we go to the Liam Holyoke, the Holy Tree. Lee Crowther, he's going to be sitting there now. He'll be one to get around. Then we go to Mitchell. We got Rusty Carlson. We got Hines. We've got the alien himself, Zach O'Reilly. We got MasterCard Muddle. Then we go Fabian Fitness, Tommy Corks, Dion Clerk, the winner of our last race, Langley, Buttigieg, Simons, Marzella, Priest, Mole, Wallace, Cowie, Elliott, Barber, Cook, Harriet, Sadler, Remo Grand, Sam Bensley, Cooper, Peter, Smart, Cosmo, Bill's still hanging in there. So this is set to be an epic race 3, because this is when the gloves come off, Pete. This is when everyone goes just a little bit loopy.
Yeah, their gloves will be well and truly off. We saw that last time around at Tsukuba, and I think with the way that the race ended on race number 2 just before, I think that we are in for quite the finale. I think the drivers are kind of figured out, despite the leader in both race 1 and race 2, they were able to drive away to about 2.5, 3 second race leads, but in race number 2, that lead got drilled down, and to the end, Tommy Corks nearly not even on the podium. So I think the drivers have learned that despite that large gap out in front, it is well and truly still possible to reel it in, especially with the car sliding around a lot. if you're a little bit more careful, you could look after your tyres and have that tyre life towards the end of the race. And I think that's maybe where we just saw it, because when we were watching Tommy Corks, he was a bit slidey in places, and maybe that just overcooked the tyres just a little bit. But a lot of stories to go untold, and it is all going to go. And we've already got a jump here. We've got a couple of jumpers here in the race start here, and so we might have a server reset if that's going to be the case, because we're going to go lights out and see how we go here. Clint Olaf will get going here from the pole position. Liam Holyoke in second position. We've got the car that jumped it already well out in front, and who's that? And that's jumped it all the way to the top. It's Thomas Marzella, who's gone to P1, and look at them file all their way through as well. It's a great race start from Rusty Carlson. He finds himself now fighting his way up inside the top 5 from outside of that position. As now, who's that? That's Mitchell going for a spin, and there we go. There's the server reset that we were expecting to get. And Dino, we now get the try it all again, and there was a couple of them that jumped the start. A bit eager to get going in this one, I reckon.
Tell you what, there's jumping the start, and then there's what that was. Holy guacamole. He took off at 1,000,000 miles an hour straight through the middle of the field. I thought it was a motorcycle lane cutting for a second there. He just zipped up the middle. I was wondering whether he was trying to take the tactic of, you know what, I'll take the jump start, do a pit stop, and do a drive through and see if I can make the time up, because he had taken off that hard. But look at this field. That is an angry field of bumblebees, that one. These cars are going to absolutely hum around the track. I hope you ladies and gentlemen at home are getting all the sights and sounds of these things, because they sound amazing. And the racing, Pete, it's been awesome in these, as everyone is trying to carry through as much speed as they possibly can through a corner, pushing them to the absolute limits. And we've seen those limits push them straight off the track, straight into gravel traps, and I tell you what, Pete, straight into each other as well.
Yeah, it's been very argy-bargy out there so far tonight, and I think that's just been proven with this car and track combination as well. It's all about trying to just get the move done immediately. If that does mean, giving a little bit of an argy-bargy, a bit of a hip and shoulder out the way to just make sure that move gets done. I think that's what the drivers are doing, and just look at the size of the field. I think Speed Nation have done a fantastic job of putting up that prize for this season of the Wednesday Cup, and they have really brought in the numbers. We got 30 drivers here getting ready to start this finale here. We had 35 at Tsukuba, so that was a huge amount of cars for such a small track, and even here, 30 cars around Road Atlanta, despite it being 4 kilometers in length, is still a huge number of cars, and we've been seeing traffic jams are plenty when someone's really on the defense and just got that train of cars right behind. It's fantastic viewing for ourselves, but I'm sure those that are trying to get themselves further up the field, and especially someone maybe like Dion Clerk, who's won that previous race and is now wanting to get themselves all the way to the front of this pack. That is a lot of cars to get on through. He's got 11 sitting in front of him, and that is going to be quite the day in the office for himself.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, they're all going to have to fight here. This is going to be a hard one, because you've got the guys off the front like Clint Olaf, Liam Holyoke, and then you've got Lee Crowther and Mitchell, Rusty, like to make it all the way up to the front. It's going to be a tough ask in this one, but I tell you what, we're getting ready for a race start, Pete. We can't be far away now. This is going to be absolutely electric. I can't wait for this one, because as I said before, race 3, that's when everyone goes a little bit cuckoo. That's when everyone goes, well, this is it. It's now or never. So let's see some of that action. I'm expecting a lot of argy-bargy in this one. And I tell you what, who can hang on to it after a bit of argy-bargy?
Yeah, it is going to be a show of wheelmanship out there. Who is going to be able to seesaw at the steering wheel? And don't tell me, we've had another jump start, Dean. How has that happened? It is another jump start, and he's gone again, but this time, will we see another server reset? Surely not second time around. Looks like there's only been the one jump start this time around, and I think it's Thomas Marzella once again as well. So it looks like maybe he doesn't have the clutch bound or something like that, but he has gone well and truly up to the front. And there he is. He's already up in position number 6, so it may have been him once again, but it's Liam Holyoke now leading the way. He's had a fantastic start to this one. Rusty Carlson, though, he has got his hands full, because he's got quite the pack of cars right straight in behind. Zach O'Reilly's now up to position number 6, and we've got drama in behind. There's a car coming to a stop on the side of the circuit, and I think it was Benny Hines that's actually had the drama, because he's now fallen outside of your top 25, so it's been an absolute mare of a start for himself. But for Rusty, have a look at the pack of cars that he's got sitting right behind him. He's got Connor Mitchell right there trying to take away that second position, but Liam Holloway's already driven away by nearly a second, and in the background there goes Zach O'Reilly down the inside to try and get that maneuver done. And he will get it done now, up in position number 5. So it's been a good start from O'Reilly. He's making his way through the field. He's now tucked in right behind Lee Crowther and still attempting to try and get himself further up the field. Could he possibly steal a podium here into the final of this one? Benny Hines is already on the charge way through. So here he is. He was well and truly down outside of your top 25, already back up into 23rd. So he's making very quick progress of these cars, trying to get on through. Heath Langley is also making an overtake here, but I am sure that Ben Hines is going to be well and truly nice and deep on the brakes in these final positions of this field to get himself further up the field, because coming into this round, he was 4th in the championship standings, and this will not bode well for that one for himself. So no position change at the moment for his run through the field. Dion Clerk, though, up into position number 8, so he's doing a fantastic job. He started position number 12, as now the Hackster. He's gone out wide into the grass, and he's going to have to find himself back onto the rejoin nice and safely without having to take out Lindsay Muddle, who's down on his inside now as they head through turn number 1 for lap number 2, and it is Ezra Simons also applying the pressure in right behind. How's this? They're going to go side by side through the S's. It hasn't ended well in the past. Is it going to end well this time around? But it's going to be Lindsay getting out in front, and now it's Hackster versus Simons, and it's going to be Ezra that gets the move done. What a move from himself, because it was Brendan Hack who was trying to go for the overtake, and in the end he's going to lose 2 positions as Thomas Marzella pulls it into the pit lane to take his drive-through penalty for jumping the start. But the battling between Crowther and O'Reilly is kicking off, because the last time around O'Reilly got the move done, and now Lee Crowther's got him again.
Yeah, this is definitely on. Zach has given him a tap. It's just been a little tap in the back, and that sent Crowther around. Crowther, now look at this. They're all sitting in a bad position. Zach having to pull over to readdress, and Crowther just trying to gather it all up and get going again. But this is a shocking part of the track to get going. So I tell you what, that little battle that we thought we had going on, Zach with just a little tap, and it had massive consequences. He's pulling it over. He's going to readdress, but up the front now, Rusty Carlson's gone to the inside of Liam. Can he hang fat around here? He's trying to. Liam's going to try and get the power down. He's going to try and push him out a little wide, but it's not going to be enough. Rusty looks like he's got his nose in front, and that's invited Mitchell. Mitchell's going to try and come through, because I tell you what, second looks better than third. Liam jumping all over the curb, trying to hang on to it, and he's not going to get that done. Mitchell on the outside, so Mitchell has gone around clean. So Rusty's out in front, and he's going to try and run away with it. Mitchell's not going to let that happen. And Hackster now. Hackster's gone back around Ezra. So he's got Ezra covered there. Ezra, that man's so difficult to overtake, but something has happened. Ezra's lost all momentum, and that's invited Hayden Wallace into it. So Wallace is going to throw it up the inside. Look at that, as clean as you like. You wouldn't have got a cigarette paper between those guys then. Wallace gets that move done on Ezra, so he's popped it up into 9th position. The battling now coming on beautifully, and then Rob in the background there in 11th. He will be wrapped with that. Ezra gives Wallace a little tap, and that's enough. Wallace's round. Oh, Wallace's round. Ezra has sent him skyward. Sent him spinning. Oh, it's ballet style, and there's more crashes going on just up in front, I'm noticing. Oh, there's been pandemonium in the field there. One car's gone round. Everyone tries to avoid it in these things, and I tell you what, they're left, right, and centre. It is all happening right now. Pete, what has happened, mate? What a turn of events.
It has been a huge turn of events. Everyone knows it's the final race of the night, and so it is now or never that they have to make these positions stick. And unfortunately, a little bit of desperation may have just been ticking in there a little bit as well, and has caused him 2 cars in the fence pretty much. But the battle out in front has not come to a close as of yet, because Connor Mitchell is now applying the pressure to the back of Rusty Carlson now at the moment. And one of our own commentators, he got the race win in race number 3 at Tsukuba. Could he go for back-to-back race 3 wins here in the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup? Only time will tell. 11.5 minutes still left to run, but it's Dion Clerk, your race 2 winner, He's got the pace at the moment. He's got the fastest lap time, but the momentum is now with Connor Mitchell. He can't do anything with it at the moment, though. He's going to have to sit tight, but he's also got to be mindful because Fabian Fitness, your championship leader, is right there as well, already up into position number 3. So he carved his way through the field. He's picked his way through the drama and finds himself already on the podium with this much of the race still to go. He's on for a good shot of the race win if he can get his way by Connor Mitchell, because he is sometimes quite the person to try and get by, and you can see that he's pulling off the fakes left and right and now dives it down the inside of Mitchell at turn number 7. Is he going to get the move done and dusted? Here we go, and he will get it done on the exit of 7 now, and he will go down this back straight with eyes forward to the back of Carlson now, and it is all kicking off, especially for Ben Hines here as he continues his way back through the field. He was as low as outside of the top 25, now finds himself up into position number 14. He's carving his way through the field, but it wasn't too big of a mistake at the start to get himself this far down, because this could prove pivotal in the championship fight. It came down to the absolute wire last season, to the last race of the last season, and it is just going to be paramount once again to score maximum points every single time once again in this season. And here goes Dion Clerk down the inside at the kinks to round out the next lap of this race, and he's going to now get himself up in position number 4. So your race 2 winner is now in a prime position as well to try and pull himself up onto the podium positions. He's got a little bit of time to find though if he wants to get to those top 3 as the battling continues outside of your top 10 as well. Ezra Simon's just got himself by Andre Elliott, who now finds himself under attack from Brody Barber as well. The haircut had a mare in the last race as well, got spun around right at the end, now finds himself battling it out with the dock to get himself up into a top 12 position. He can't get it done at turn number 1 as the battle between Fitness and Carlson is kicking off once again.
Yeah, and here we go. These are 2 hardheads. These guys, absolute quick customers. Rusty just looks to have that car sliding a little bit too much there, which gives Fabian the advantage. Fabian can get the power down. We just witnessed how quickly he closed that gap. So Fabian's going to go to the outside here. Rusty on the inside. Fabian is aggressive as you like. He doesn't care if it's inside, outside, whatever side. He will have a go. But Mitchell is still in this, and he's got a great run out of there. It looks like he got a nice little run. I think he's got too much overlap to tuck in and get a bit of a suck. So that's a great out from Mitchell there. He's just pulled out, and he's just going to get the power down. This is going to put him on the wrong side of the track, though, for this corner when we come down to this very tight left-hander. He's going to have to be super late on the brakes, and I tell you what, you wouldn't like to be trying to outbrake Fabian Fitness. We saw what happened in the previous race. If anyone's going to brake late, it's him, and bang, there it is. There's the move. Fabian very late on the brakes. He wants to catch Rusty. He's firmly got him in his sights. Rusty now, eyes forward. He's not looking at what's going on behind. He wants Mitchell to get in there and spice things right up. But Dion, I just saw that before out of the corner of my eye. Fastest lap of the race. He's closing in on Mitchell. So he's like, nope, I still want a piece of this action here. So Mitchell, he lost out to Fabian, trying to stick with him, trying to hang on with him, and then he's got Dion to contend with. So it's not over yet. He's going to have to watch everywhere, and he's sideways. Have a look at that thing. It kicks sideways over the curb there, and he lost all the momentum. Dion now hot on his hammer. Can he do anything with it? He's just going to have to tail him through here, but if he can get a great run out of this next left-hander, he'll be able to do something with it, and he's just going to run it a little bit wide. He's just clipped the gravel there, and that's taken all his momentum. All it takes, Pete, is a little swing, and we are on. But look at the battle for the lead here. Rusty, he thought he had a little bit of a breather, but that lasted all of 2 seconds, because here's Fabian Fitness. This man is absolutely on a charge. He must have had a couple of beers, because look at that driving style. It's just beautiful at the moment, Fabian. But Connor Mitchell is there again. This is an absolute repeat of the previous lap. These guys going hammer and tongs at it, but why wouldn't you? This is for a podium, Pete. This is for sheep stations for real.
It really is, and as much as these guys keep battling as well, and as they keep swinging out from each other's slipstreams, as they nearly go like motorbike style on the front row of the grid, it is nearly a 3-way run into that corner there. And it is Carlson who's going to hold on to the lead despite the slide on the exit. But look at Dion Clerk in the background. He's looking really threatening at the moment to taking that position away from Connor Mitchell. And in the background there, it's Lindsay Muddle getting himself by the holy tree of Liam Holyoke. So he's now up into position number 5. And Lindsay has been showing fantastic pace. He's consistently at the front of this field so far tonight, and he can be a real charge here with 6.5 minutes left of the race. And that was a huge mistake from Connor Mitchell. He had the tank slapper going as they were exiting the first corner, and that has cost him a huge amount of time to the back of Fabian Fitness. He's now over half a second behind of your top two, who are currently nose to tail. There's nothing in it between your top two, and there it is. They are just about pushing each other through this S section, and immediately, as soon as Muddle got himself a bye, Liam Holyoke there, he's been able to now pull over a second away from Holyoke. In fact, it's even more, it's about 2 seconds now, and he's now only a second behind this top 4 battle. So as these guys continue to battle it out, more of these faster drivers behind are starting to get involved, including Muddle and Hack. They're on the charge to the back of the train as Fitness looks to the outside. He's not going to get it done this time around. He's going to have to try and use a bit of momentum, a bit of side draft action as well for good measure to get this one done. And he now pulls his nose just ahead of Carlson, just enough to trick the timing to say that, hey, I'm in P1 at the moment, but it's now swinging back the other way to Carlson. He's got the better top end speed at the moment down this back straight, and he's really trying to pull himself back to the front here, and they're nearly going to go 2 by 2, ladies and gentlemen, here into this, and they well and truly are. There's bumping in the braking zone as well. Fabian Fitness goes to the inside, but in the background, Carlson had a tag on the rear, and it's got his car all unsettled. Dion Clerk is also going to go through on Connor Mitchell and get himself now up into the podium positions, and here is Lindsay Muddle in position number 5 to hang it around the outside. He's in the grass on the corner entry. That's not going to go bode well for him, and that's going to open up the door now for Brendan Hack to try and get the move done on himself, and he will swing it to the inside, use that momentum, and he'll try and get this one done at turn 1. He can't get it done. Muddle's too good on the brakes, and we'll hold on to position number 5. But look at this, it's a 6-car train now for the race win with only 4.5 minutes left of this race. What is going on? It is being turned up to temperature 11 here at Road Atlanta.
I tell you what, we've seen this that many times with Wednesday Cup too. It just takes one tiny little mistake and this whole field could just shuffle through on Fabian. So he's going to have to now get it together, keep it together, and just plow on forward. But Dion, this man is looking as racy as you like in these last couple of races. He's now looking at Rusty, and he's going to try and do the same thing that Fabian did. He's going to pull to the outside. If you can hold that outside line around this corner here, that gives you an advantage. But he's gone just a little bit too wide, and that's brought Connor Mitchell back into it. And Lindsay Muddle's there for good measure. Have a go at this side by side. We've got Dion and Mitchell side by side. Lindsay's trying to pick who he's going to back. Hackster in the background looking there to mop up the scraps. So this will be on. Dion will have the advantage line here through this left-hander, but then it'll come straight back to Mitchell if he can hang it fat around the outside. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. Mitchell very late on the brakes. Both of them late on the brakes. Dion, he's going to have to concede that. Mitchell's got the power down. He's just nudged, but it looks like Lindsay's gone up the inside. How is that? Lindsay's going to take them both. That's a 2-for-1 deal. If he can hang on to this one and just get that power down. But Connor Mitchell coming back on the inside, and Hackster's in there for good measure. This is a battle. This is what we came to see. This is worth the admission price right here. Lindsay has come out on top. Oh, Lindsay's been hit by Mitchell. That's taken all of them out. Oh, what a shame. Mitchell just got a little bit out there, just tapped, and bang, Lindsay's gone round. That also affected Dion, and that's let the Hackster through. So the Hackster has picked up 3rd position. What was I just saying before, Pete, about Wednesday Cup? You never know what's going to happen here, mate.
Expect the unexpected. That's all we can say when it comes to the Wednesday Cup, and that's exactly what's happened. And that means Dion Clerk, who was looking really good to take away a solid podium position, he is now 2.5 seconds away from Brendan Hack in 3rd, and has now got Liam Holyoke on his rear end trying to apply the pressure, but he finds himself also a second behind. And so it looks like Dion, with 2.5 minutes left, he may just be solidified now in position number 4. But now, as I say that, watch just watch carnage unfold in the top 3 in front of him. him, but they've all now evenly spread out as the battling is continuing big time here down the back of the pack, because it is Zach O'Reilly taking avoiding action of Andre Elliott, who finds himself now stranded in the middle of the circuit. He's trying to get the car refired up. You can see him, he's got the car at full throttle and narrowly rejoins in front of Ezra Simons. That was now contact with the sister car of Wesley Harriet as well, so he nearly goes around once again. It has been a very unfortunate turn of events here for Andre Elliott. He was sitting just outside of your top 10, now finds himself down in 23rd and make that 24th as Cooper goes on by. It has not been a good day in the office for Doc, so I hope he didn't have any patience this time around. But Connor Mitchell in 8th position has found himself outside of where he was just a few moments ago, and he's now got Rob Priest and Ben Hines right behind him, and Hines will be looking to try and solidify his top 10 position here in the dying stages of this one, as they're just about on the final lap of the race. It'll be pretty close to see if Fitness gets around for one more flying lap, but I would imagine this will probably be the final time of asking here tonight for the Wednesday Cup, as Mitchell, he's still defending this position, and I reckon Hines is looking quite racy to try and get himself possibly up into 8th here in the final stages of this race.
Yeah, definitely Hines will be trying to get through, but I tell you what, Rob will be trying to hang on to that position for all it's worth as well. This is a good finishing position from him, so he's put on a good show, stayed out of all the drama, so he will do everything to try and hang on to it, and as I say that, he's gone round. Oh, that is totally my fault. There's commentator's curse at its very best, and that's going to let Corksy through, and that'll invite Zach O'Reilly up too, and you don't need to give that man an invitation. He will just come through anyway. So Rob, he was in a solid 9th position, and then bang, it's straight back down to 12th. And then we've got Brody Barber and Cookie on Barber. Cookie's going to throw it up the inside. Here we go. All the holes barred are off now. And we've got, oh, they've just snuck through. Crowther there's just gone right through. He's gone, you boys tussle it out. I'll go right through. And Fabian's coming round. Is he going to get through for another lap? What is he going to do? Is he going to get on the anchors, or is he going to pin it? He's going to pin it. We are going to go one more lap here. So Fabian, he had a bit of a choice there. He could have just backed out of it a little bit and ended it, but he is not. We have one more lap of action, and I tell you what, I don't think I want this to end, as we've got Brody now going up the inside. He's gone straight up the inside of Cookie, so this is a great little battle. This is 14th and 15th position. So the haircut, he's got the better of the chef right now, but Cookie, he will not lie down. He will chase his tail and try to get that position back for all it's worth. So we are on here. Benny Hines, somehow, Pete, managed to get that car up in 9th position. That's an absolute stellar drive from him tonight. What a performance from him. Frogger, all right, he's jumped it all over the road, managed to miss the carnage after that first little incident, and back in the top 10. That's a championship drive right there from Benny Hines, in my humble opinion.
Yep, well, he is a past champion of the series, and he's proving it why, despite being around on the first lap out in the grass. Now finds himself in prime position now to try and take this overtake now on this, as the battling. Is this the timing tower just screwing us over at the moment, or is the top 3 all of a sudden well and truly close together? They are closer together, but I think it was just the timing deciding to play jokes on us. Dino here, and it is really keeping us on our toes. But what is keeping us on our toes is Ben Hines here. Does he get the move done into this next braking zone? I reckon he's on for a really good shout, but we have to turn our attention now to Fabian Fitness, because he was the master of the carnage, and he was able to part the seas and pull his way on through, and he will take another race win here in the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup in the RX8s. What a fantastic drive from Fabian Fitness to get himself and yet another race win here. I think that's win number 5 now for himself, and so that is a fantastic drive for himself. Liam Holyoke is also a big beneficiary here of all the carnage unfolding. He will take a P5 here. Lindsay Muddle unfortunately loses out down into position number 7. Zach O'Reilly will just hold on to position number 10 with Ben Hines right behind him, and Hinesy having a bit of an issue, so he falls outside of the top 10 while we're watching the leaders cross the start-finish line. Ezra Simons will be the next to cross the line in position number 16. You'll have Paul Buttigieg and Sadler, Jesus, you can tell it's the end of the racing, following him by as well. Wesley Harriet to follow on through, as well as the rest of the field makes their way through. We're going to have a bit of a podium chat coming up soon with our top 3, so do not go anywhere. That is coming up very shortly. Fabian Fitness is your race winner, with Rusty Carlson in position number 2, Brendan Hack in 3rd position. What an evening of racing.
Oh, definitely. What a great evening of racing, Pete. That was absolutely outstanding. That had all the makings and it was just great to watch. I've had an absolute blast. But I tell you what, Pete, I'm going to run off right now and I'm going to grab our top 3 drivers and I will be right back with you.
That sounds brilliant, Dino, and I'm looking forward to the chat with our top 3. It is going to be a fantastic evening of talking with these gentlemen, and I am sure we're all going to be looking forward to hearing the stories and their thoughts about how the racing has gone here for them tonight. It has been fantastic with everything that is going on, and as Fabian Fitness has said in the chat, it was a red mist time, and he well and truly took advantage of that, taking the race win here. So that is, if I'm counting correctly, that is race win number 4. Sorry, race win number 4. So I've jumped the gun there just slightly on that one. So he is well and truly in control of the championship so far. He is showing that he is a dominant force, topping every single session, bar 2, and that one being race 3 from Tsukuba and race number 2 here tonight at Road Atlanta. So he'll be one to beat when we head back to Australia here for Eastern Creek. So that, keep an eye on that one. That will be a fantastic round. These cars will be very much suited to that one. Fitness, Carlson, and Hack, your top 3. And we have so far got 2 of them in the chat at the moment, getting ready for an interview. And let's see if we can get any of them to have a bit of a word. We'll start with Rusty Carlson. How's that there, Rusty? You were well and truly in the thick of it and very much on the defensive. How was that for you?
I think the boys have forgotten they're on push to talk.
Yeah,
Pete.
I definitely did forget I was on push to talk. Yeah, it was great until it wasn't. So, I mean, I was having a ball through that one until I realised that Fabs was the next one behind me, and then it was Buddy on my back end within half a lap. So it was just a matter of trying to hold him off, and 10 minutes of holding him off isn't quite enough, and he eventually got the job done with 5 to go.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You put up a huge fight, and it was very, very fun to watch. Fabian, to you, our race 3 winner, race 1 winner as well, and championship leader. You've topped every session bar 2 so far in the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup. How's it out there for you tonight?
Yeah, it was good. Good battling with Rusty and Hacks in the first race for the first couple of turns. He was a real gentleman and left me some decent amount of room, which was nice. Yeah, the car wasn't the same. That's all I can say. But we all had the same, I'm guessing. So I couldn't suck it up and carry on. I just kept whinging in the chat the whole time.
I did see the racing there, Fabian. I thought, geez, I don't know if I'd be that nice to you, mate. There was some niceties going on out there. So yeah, it was kind of good to not be a part of it because I don't know if I would have been so nice.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have been that nice, Dino. So that's why I have the names above the cars, so I know who I'm racing. And most people are gentlemen, but when you're around, I just stay out of your way and wait till you go in the grass.
I'll cop that. But let's go over to the hack stuff. Brendan, great driving tonight, mate. You're up against it, and I tell you what, you were pushing hard. It was great to watch.
Yeah, mate. I think that was 3 podiums for the night, so I'll take that as a pretty solid night's racing. But like look at the other 2 guys up here on the podium with us with me, but no podium was given away out there today. There was plenty of blood, sweat, and tears and panels rubbed out there tonight, and the cars were very different in the race to practice server, so we definitely all had to pivot pretty hard to get them around the track as quick as we could.
Yeah, I did hear that. We did hear that. We were unsure as to why or how that happened, but it looked like a few of you guys are up against it. We were watching you a couple of times, Rusty, coming into corners, and we just noticed the car slide just a little bit more than usual. Like you've usually got a better grip of the car, so we wondered if something was going on.
Not this particular one. I mean, I think to some extent you got to properly slide it just to get a little bit of something out of it. But yeah, through the first race, I think we were all running like 20 pound in the tyres because which it just called us out. I think I can't speak for the boys, but I normally run 25, 26. Definitely called us out in that one. So then I put a heap of pressure in it for the second race, and then that put me into 30 pound, which is definitely the wrong side of that spectrum, and I kept losing spots. And I seemed to have it at the right sort of window, just about. The rears were a bit low in the last race there too, but that wasn't where my pace was. I'm sure I would have been able to get a heap more out of it if I was actually somewhat competent in these cars, but Fabs has just got the bloody things hooked up. I was doing 38.5s or something like that in practice, and I was doing 40.4s or something like that during that last race. So for Fabs to still try and pull the gap that he was, and even Hackster that was running just about on the back of me like a head on a shovel towards the end there, I reckon one more lap he would have got me.
It was pretty full on out there, Pete. How was it from your point of view watching all of this? I mean, we certainly saw a lot unfold.
Yeah, it was wild stuff out there. So props to you three gentlemen for being as consistent as you ever are. Eastern Creek is up next, and it is going to be a little bit of another longer circuit compared to Tsukuba. So how do we think this one's going to fare? Because this one's got a very nice variety of corners. You got the fast sweepers, you got big braking zones, and a little bit of a twisty section as well thrown in there for Eastern Creek. So Fabian, you've been the one that's well and truly on top of the game at the moment. Do you reckon that you can continue momentum going to Eastern Creek?
I believe so to a degree, but with that car like it was, every single turn the tyres were over temping. But if it's the same for everyone, it's fine, I guess. Is it the full Eastern Creek, or is it a section? Is it a half section, or is it the full track?
I believe it's going to be the full track.
Nice.
Oh no. Yeah, the driving these slugs around the full track, it's going to be 2-minute 30 laps. So with a big straight there and no suck, so it'll be all right, I guess. Yeah.
It'll be pretty similar to this one, only I reckon people will be better in the driving department because you can actually spot some brake markers around Eastern Creek, whereas there's nothing around here that you can look at. Like, it got to a point where I was just looking for down the bottom side of the track. I was looking for the inside curb before that big long straightaway to know where I needed to brake, and I was still overshooting or undershooting or just doing everything in between.
Yeah, I think there is definitely a few corners that are similar to this one, so it should race pretty similar, as long as the practice to race service sort of stays a little bit more neutral. Yeah, I think it should race pretty well, to be honest.
I like
I
it.
tell you what, gentlemen, it was great to watch. It was great viewing from our vantage point. It looked like it had a whole heap going on, so I've had an absolute blast tonight. Pete, yourself, mate, how was your night? I absolutely loved it.
I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight's racing for the Speed Nation Wednesday Cup. And speaking of Speed Nation, thank you very much to them for sponsoring not only this season of the Wednesday Cup, but also the channel. And with that, we're going to round out this evening's racing with the broadcast. Thank you also to ARD Importing as well for all their continued support. Simulator driver training, Bilko Packers accelerated driver training as well for the continued support. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, keep it flat out.
Simsational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.